All right, welcome into Starting Five here on the Five Reasons YouTube channel. Producer today is Manny Chang. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick and at Five Reasons Sports. Make sure that you check out the recent episodes of 3 Yards Per Carry, as well as Five on the Floor on the network. Actually, 4 new episodes of Five on the Floor up in the podcast feed from the past 4 days. There'll be another one up today, so check it out on the YouTube channel. Also, if you're on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. As I said, producer today is Manny Chang. The sponsors today, All Pro Construction Builders. You can find them at allproconstructionbuilders.com or All Pro Construction Builders on Instagram. I always say hurricane season is around the corner. No, it's not. It's here. And it's not too late. Make sure that you get those storm windows, those storm doors. Reach out to Danny and his team at 305-484-4429. Huge Miami sports fans. It's a family-owned business. They're based in Miami-Dade County, but they service Monroe County as well as Broward County. And you will deal with only the owner from start to finish. You mentioned 5 Reasons, you get a 10% discount. They specialize in the impact windows and doors for residential commercial properties, but they can also help you with your renovations. We know right now a lot of you may want to buy another house, but it's difficult with what the housing market is and 7.5% interest rates. So renovate your own place. Reach out to All Pro Construction Builders, 305-484-4429. That's 305-484-4429. Also sponsored by Prize Picks. Use the code 5. Get your initial deposit matched up to $100. But a lot of players over the weekend on Prize Picks. I'm sorry if I recommended that Burrow prop to you. That did not work out so well. Of course, you can play the NFL, the NBA, MLS, NHL, everything on Prize Picks. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. All right, we will talk Heat on other episodes, but I want to do a little bit of Dolphins today. They deserve the shine. The Hurricanes do also, frankly. Check out the latest episode of Six Rings Canes that was up last night. It was a really good weekend, actually, for Miami sports. You also had the Marlins take 2 of 3 from the Phillies to kind of hang in their race. We'll see with all the injuries that they've got, some of the other issues, if they're going to be able to go anywhere with that. But the story right now is the Dolphins, and the story is Tua. And what we are seeing is narrative busting. We're seeing narrative busting in whether or not you can win big with a player who has perceived weaknesses that are not as weak as most of the national media would have you believe. What stuck out to me the most about that game on Sunday, other than the Dolphins' awful run defense, and other than, obviously, Tyreek Hill, who is remarkable and is by far the best offensive player that the Dolphins have had since Ricky Williams. And you can make the case that at this point, he's the most impactful offensive player they've had since 13. The thing that stuck out about Tua and about the Dolphins in general, other than Tua's resilience, which is something that I'll get to here, is that everybody is wrong about the way that he plays. Like, I'm watching Herbert and I'm watching Tua, and the numbers bore this out last year. The dink and dunk specialist is Justin Herbert. It's not Tua. The guy who didn't do much in terms of yards per attempt last year was Justin Herbert, not Tua. The guy who had to have his team rely on the running game was Justin Herbert, not Tua. And I am confused about how so-called football experts, of which I am not one, have gotten this so completely incorrect. Tua is a risk taker. Tua is a gambler. He just happens to do it with high efficiency and accuracy. He throws the ball down the field when there's the opportunity to do so. And yet you still have these national shows talking about, well, you just dump it to Tyreek and Jalen. That's all he has to do. That's not what he does. That's not how this offense is designed. Even behind an offensive line that came in as a big question, and credit to them, no sacks without Terron Armstead, Tua was still pushing the ball down the field. And the biggest thing is his coach has confidence for it. His coach wants him to do it. His coach has designed a scheme to basically exploit Tua's talent at throwing the ball to the deep middle and continually pushing the ball down the field. This comes in from Aaron. It's crazy. I think every big-time media pundit is now on the Tua train, but Skip Bayless and Coward. And both of those guys, particularly Coward, will just change his opinion, not show to show, literally minute to minute, if you followed him consistently, which I try not to anymore. How are the narratives on this guy so wrong? How are the narratives that you can't win big with a guy when all the guy does is perform at an elite level on third down in the fourth quarter and when you're trailing? I mean, what is it that you're looking for from him at this stage? Staying healthy, right? Okay. Well, we just saw Hard Knocks, right? Okay. We saw an entire offseason devoted to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and them being Super Bowl contenders because of his addition. And that defense is legit, no question. Okay. It literally ended on the fourth play. It ended on the fourth play. And not because Aaron Rodgers is 7, whatever, okay? Because that's what happens. It's the NFL. Every quarterback is vulnerable, particularly if you're behind a bad offensive line. But it only, like the Jets, but it only takes one hit, one turn the wrong direction. That's it. So it seems like the entire anti-Tua narrative is now going to be based on, well, you can't trust him to get through a whole season. Who can you trust? What quarterback do you believe is necessarily going to play all 17 games? Who can you guarantee that for? Okay, Tua may be a little bit more prone because of the head injury history. But is he more prone because he's maybe shorter than other guys? I mean, again, let's talk about his physique. He's built like a tree trunk. So what do you have on him at this stage? It was really interesting to me watching Twitter because there is a contingent of Dolphin fans, okay, who want this quarterback to fail. I'm not saying it's a huge contingent, but there's a contingent. There's even a couple who used to be in my network who decided to just go full troll, anti-Tua troll. The ones who were pushing for Deshaun Watson the whole time. I mean, would you rather have Tua at his price right now or Deshaun Watson, especially considering that? And I'm not even getting to the off-the-field stuff. I'm just saying where they both are as quarterbacks, what they're both being paid, what the compensation was to get them. So there's this troll group. It's not just the Baylesses and the cowards, etc. There's this troll group that just, it's Watson, it's Herbert, it's basically anybody but Tua, right? ABT. I didn't hear anything from them Sunday. I mean, I went back on one of their accounts because I was just curious. I'm like, okay, so what did they tweet about? Nothing. Total silence. I mean, can some acknowledge at this point they were wrong about this guy? And I'm not saying, put a gold jacket on him or anything like that, okay, at this stage. But I'm just saying, can we acknowledge that basic premises about Tua are wrong? The premise that he cannot throw the ball down the field with any kind of accuracy. The premise, by the way, that he can't throw on the run with any accuracy, which was not something we saw him do a ton of, but I thought his best throws were on the run, actually, in this game, the improvisation. The throw to Berrios was a thing of beauty. The 3rd and 15 that they picked up 17 or 18. I actually thought that. I know the 2 hill throws were incredible, but the throw to Berrios was fantastic. He used his entire group of weapons. Can I get people to be a couple on that too? He just forces the ball to Waddle and Hill. Really? This comes in from DD Ninja 33. I'll take an accurate quarterback with a good arm versus a big throwing arm and a tall quarterback too. Is real? Absolutely. Accuracy and resilience. Accuracy and resilience. Just keep repeating it. Accuracy and resilience. That is what you want with your quarterback. Accuracy and not putting out. Look, Tua will always make those 1 or 2 throws. You're like, okay, what the hell was that? But overall, the accuracy is there. And the resilience, what is his passer rating after he throws an interception? I have watched so many Dolphin quarterbacks go in the absolute tank after a pick. The only time that I've seen Tua really do that, he didn't play well against San Diego last year. He had some struggles against San Francisco, or San Diego, I should say, the Chargers, LA. Had some struggles against San Francisco. But the Green Bay game, was one that, it seemed like he lost his way, but he was literally concussed. He threw 3 picks in the second half, and it didn't look like we knew where the hell he was. Mostert and him disconnected on a route because they miscommunicated in the huddle. So you look at it and you say, okay, do you need the guy with the huge arm who constantly flops in the fourth quarter, like Herbert? Or do you want the guy who is not going to be affected by what happened before? Accuracy and resilience. Accuracy and resilience. Just keep repeating it. It's what matters. It's Brady. And I'm not saying Tua is Brady, but it's the qualities that Brady had, that Montana had. Those are the qualities that you're looking for. No, you want the qualities that Jamarcus Russell had? You want the qualities that Ryan Leaf had, that David Klingler had, the big arms? What the hell did they do in the league? Now, there are exceptions. Mahomes, he's one of one. Literally one of one. And a bunch of teams passed on him, okay? But he is a one of one type player. Danny, okay, had the big enough arm for sure and had resilience. Although sometimes, people don't remember the Marino era, the younger people as well as I do, but there were opportunities there. I'm not saying that he was given the defense and the running game that he should have been given. He wasn't. But there were opportunities for him to advance, and sometimes he didn't always come through as great as he was. But I'll take the accuracy and resilience over the huge arm. And I want to get to something Mike McDaniel said last week, and I wish I'd had the time to write a column about it because it really stuck out when he said it. He was asked about Tua. He was asked about, Tua has this habit of getting really down on himself, right? So he was asked, what do you do? What have you seen in practice when he struggles, when he does this? And he says, he looks at Tua and he says, and, okay, you made a mistake. And what now? And the column I was going to write, again, if I had time before the first game of the season, was that's what you can say about this entire Dolphin team. That's what I was thinking going into this game. Okay, you've added Vic Fangio to the defense. And, okay, Tyreek Hill says he can get 2,000 yards. Okay, it could be better last year. And, in other words, from this entire group, what you wanted to see was growth. Resilience, growth. Resilience, growth. We have seen that from Tua every year. We saw him be resilient coming back from a hip injury, playing earlier than he should have, dealing with a coach who did not want him and did not like him, wasn't given any tools. Take a look at the players that Tua played with on that offense his rookie season. Just look at that group. I don't know if there's a single guy that would play for this current group. They've literally redone the whole thing. Gesicki, maybe? Again, he was phased out. And Tua, talking about using all of his weapons, which is what I was getting to earlier, he threw 8 times for Durham Smythe in the first half. 8 times to a tight end who's not perceived as a receiving tight end. He used Craycraft. He used Berrios. He used Mostert. And obviously he used Hill and Waddle. He's resilient. He's resourceful. He's accurate. And he's going to get paid, by the way. So this is the Dolphins' window. You look at what happened with Rodgers yesterday. Burrow will be better for sure. Offensive line is awful, but I'm so tired of the excuses for these other guys that Tua doesn't get. All I heard on the ESPN shows yesterday was Burrow has no offensive line. There was bad weather and all that. Trust me. If Tua had thrown for sub 100 yards, okay, there wouldn't have been any excuses for him like there were for Burrow. Josh Allen was awful yesterday, except for one drive where he just locked in with Diggs to get them the tying field goal. Jets defense is really good, but Allen contributed to those mistakes. Either threw picks to the same guy. Didn't put up 20 points. You think everybody's going to be bashing Josh Allen today? Most of the hyped quarterbacks were not great in week 1. I mean, to be honest, Mahomes wasn't great either. But he'll be fine. But my overall point is, the Dolphins have an elite quarterback, whether everybody wants to believe it or not. And it doesn't mean he's going to have a great game every game, or he's going to throw for 466. But he's elite. The metrics from last year showed that he was on an elite pace, if not for the injuries at the end of the year. And then you look at the intangible qualities, and I just keep coming back to it. The resilience is off the charts. The resilience to come back from the injuries numerous times. The resilience to deal with what is said about him publicly. The resilience to come back in games where they're trailing. To make play after play, like Baltimore last year, like this one. Again, not everyone, not San Francisco, not some of the others, but what he did in this past game, to me, embodied everything that he is about. He heard the noise this offseason. He did the training that he felt he needed to do, even if some laughed at him. He came out against the quarterback who everybody says, not everybody, but a lot of people, including some Dolphin fans, say that the Heat, I was throwing a Heat reference on a Dolphins thing, that the Dolphins screwed that whole thing up. Right? Isn't that what everybody says? The Dolphins screwed it up. They missed on a generational player. I am sorry, okay? Justin Herbert is not a generational quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a generational quarterback. He's the one. In the NFL right now, he's the one. We can talk about Lamar and Jalen Hurts and others, and they're very good quarterbacks in the NFL. The generational quarterback in the NFL right now is Patrick Mahomes. There is not another. We can talk about what Trevor Lawrence may become. Mahomes is the one who has proven it. He is it. Justin Herbert is not. Generational quarterbacks do not continuously flop in the fourth quarter. Over and over and over. Did you fear the Chargers passing game when Herbert got the ball back? I didn't. I feared the fact that they were going to run the ball 6 times up the middle and the Dolphins weren't going to tackle anybody. But as soon as Herbert dropped back, I knew that the Dolphins were fine. Do you feel that way about generational quarterbacks typically? Did you feel that way about Brady? Did others feel that way about Marino? Hell, did you even feel that way about Jim Kelly, if you're old enough, or Warren Moon? No. Justin Herbert is good. Big arm, lots of numbers, never even going to be Dan Fouts. Never even going to be Warren Moon. Now, Tua, is he generational? No. Is he generational in terms of what the Dolphins have had since Marino? Yes. He's that guy in terms of resilience and accuracy, which is what you should be looking for in a quarterback. I want to thank everybody for joining today. We'll do more Dolphin stuff, Heat stuff. We've got playback episodes coming up. Check out the episodes of 5 on the Floor. Always check out Louis Sung on Fins Nation. Does a great job there. He's here multiple times per week. And make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Messi coverage because we're doing as much or more than anybody else. Have a good day, everybody.